What's up, family? Welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host, and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. Now, gosh, I'm so pumped up. I know, I'm always pumped up, but I really am. So, I don't know. But, so, I forget what I was saying, but please don't be alarmed to share this out. In fact, you should share this out. Invite as many people as you can to watch this episode and just tag people in the comments. It doesn't matter. And then please keep the comments coming. We want to have more of a conversation than just make a presentation. So keep those coming. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. Thumbs up, hearts, frowning faces, cry faces. You can even get mad at us. I don't care. Just help us trick the algorithm on any of the socials that we're on. But with no further ado, I would like to bring to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, Sam himself.
Hi,
Is your last name himself now?
what's up?
All right, so I said the man, the myth, the legend, Sam himself. So does that mean your last name is himself?
It's not, it's just Mitchell.
Oh, it's
Hey,
just
what? It's
Mitchell.
my middle name. How about that?
All right, that works. So, if you would like to go through a short introduction, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you do, I would appreciate that. I'm going to be inviting a few people on my phone here at the moment, but I am listening.
Okay. So, what I do, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible, is I run a podcast called Autism Rocks and Rolls. It's a podcast about autism and how you cope with daily struggles that you may or may not understand. Through the podcast, it's grown so much. I developed sponsors, a board of 6 members. I'm also an event planner in Indiana. I also do motivational speaking services. I've spoken in Oklahoma, Orlando 3 times, Canada twice, Stuart, Florida, Washington, D.C. I was a keynote speaker in Daniels, West Virginia, and I recently did a work conference in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow, that's cool. That's not too far from me.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I wish I would have met you back then, right?
yeah, that's like an hour and a half from me. So, but that's not too far. So I know that each and every person out there goes through something in life. Oftentimes those things are extremely difficult. You see, when I was 17, I was involved in a life altering car accident. I spent 2.5 months in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital. I was told I wouldn't walk again, but I am walking now. So, one thing I have learned is that instead of just going through things, we have to grow through things. So, has there been anything that you have had to grow through?
Well, I've had to grow through sometimes part of the autism. I mean, I had to grow through meltdowns. Don't have as much anymore. I once upon a time did. I had to grow through sensory issues because I don't like the rain. I like getting wet.
I
And
don't either.
yeah, I know. My issue is a wet t-shirt. I can't do a wet t-shirt.
Well, that's kind of difficult. So, how exactly did you get through those things? Well, first of all, let me ask: is there other ways that your autism affects you other than a wet T-shirt?
Yeah, pretty much. Affects me through my daily life. I mean, I don't do plan Bs well. I have a hard time compromising. I don't like my routine change. For the most part, I can manage it now, but still sometimes, dang it. I have a hard time socializing, conversing, non-speaking communications hard. So eye rolls, body language, very overthinking, and that's what else I like to do is overthink a lot. And I mean a lot. Trust me, I say a lot. I can get fixated on something and drive people nuts with it.
Yeah. I can do that too. I like to repeat myself. That is something that I find to be cool. I like especially repetitive music. I like electronic dance music, which is basically just a repetition. It's really cool. But so, how do you deal with the overthinking?
Well, overthinking, it's a hard one. It's not the most managed behavior I have out of all the behaviors I do have. And the best way, what I do is I will not stop until the problem is solved. Like it will dominate my mind and it's going to get solved now. We're not
Yeah.
wait till tomorrow to solve this problem. We're doing it now. I don't care where we are. I don't care that we're at Universal Studios. We're solving the problem now. And if I got to make a big scene at the studios, I will.
Yeah. Well, so how do you approach getting something done when it's possibly not the right time to do it?
Effectively. Effectively, I'll wait for a little bit, but then we're going to get it done.
Yeah. And how do other people around you react to you when that happens?
They don't like it, but I think sometimes they understand and they have to get over it because that's literally a part of who I am. I also have ADHD. So, okay, if you're not going to get it done, fine. But my mind's literally going to be on it, and my mind cannot move on from it.
Yeah. And what does so how does your mind act when you need to get something done?
It will get done and it will be more effectively. It's rushed. Sometimes the ADHD kicks in and it won't stop turning. And that's why I have trouble sleeping. I have a sleep machine because I think I don't breathe in the middle of the night because of the wiring in the brain. But I also believe it's because of the ADHD, since my mind doesn't like to stop thinking even when I'm sleeping.
Wow. So do you dream a lot?
I'm not for sure about that. I was told when I did my sleep study that I dreamed, but they didn't tell me what the dream was, and they couldn't really because they couldn't tell me that. They didn't have the science for that yet. But I bet they'll get to that one day.
Wow. So are they working on something that can watch your dreams?
If I had to guess so, I wouldn't be surprised at this day and age.
Wow, that would be really cool. I don't know that I would like somebody to be in my dreams. That would be kind of strange, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be kind of strange, but you know, it's invading privacy. But I also think, well, it could help if someone's thinking about suicide. That could get solved, and people could get help.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never thought of it that way. So, what is all right? Let's say what is the toughest thing that you do every day?
Well, I would say the toughest thing I do every day is literally dealing with people because people exhaust me. And it's not that I don't hate people, it's just that they're so exhausting in the way they communicate, in the way they socialize, and the way they handle themselves. And sometimes it's too much, man.
And what happens when it's too much?
I try to get away and escape from people and get into a room where there's not either as many as there was in the other room or there isn't any people.
All right. That makes perfect sense. So, I know that being in a room by yourself and when there's no stimulation going on at all, say there's no lights, no nothing, and that is actually good for someone's brain. Did
It,
you know that?
I did not know that, and it can be. But I also think if you're in a cave for 30 years, it might be a little too long without any stimulation.
Yes, that would be a little too long. 30 years in a cave? Wow. That would be weird.
Yeah. Hey, Master Uwe did it, so I guess it's possible.
Yeah? And what was his name?
Master Uwe, character from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, from Kung Fu Panda. You like that movie?
I like the second one. He wasn't as much in the first one because, spoiler alert, he died. But I watched that a lot growing up.
Well, that's cool. And may I ask how old you are?
Yeah, it's fine. 22.
All right. And so are you living on your own now?
I am. I am living in a dorm as well. I'm in college. I'm in Vincennes University. I'm studying broadcasting. I'm in my last
Ooh,
year. And after, thank you. And hopefully, after I get out of here, I will get a job in radio or
that
maybe some with television, hopefully. But I think I'm going to prefer radio. Television and video gets me overwhelming, even though I think it's really cool. Audio is where I succeed at.
well, that's cool. So how did you find out that audio was something you were good at?
Well, it starts. I joined my high school's media club, and I fell in love with the podcasting element of the media club. That I decided to start my own podcast while I was still in grade school, and that was when Autism Rocks and Rolls was born.
That's awesome. Now, is Autism Rocks and Rolls like a 501c3? Is it a charity?
It's
How does
501c3
that work?
charity slash nonprofit that with an executive director of boards. We're actually next Sunday having our annual gala, so it's our fourth one, and we're hoping it's going good. We're hoping it's going to go good. Let's put it that way.
And where is the gala?
It's in Bloomington, Indiana. So,
Bloomington, Indiana. I actually know somebody that lives there.
well, what do you know?
No, I don't. I know somebody that lives in Bloomington, Illinois.
Oh, close.
Yeah, two different state, but same area.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, what has been your most difficult adversity?
I mean, there's a lot of adversities when it comes to autism, but the most difficult adversity I had to try to hurdle over was just school. I mean, school was great with the staff, and they can do well in their special ed program, but when it came to the students, they sucked. They really did because unfortunately, my issue was exclusion, and unfortunately, because of the autism, I was ignored.
Yeah. That has to be hard. So how did you deal with that? I mean, did it affect you mentally?
It affects me mentally. It still does affect me mentally. That's why I'm nitpicky on my friends. I'm not going to make a friend who literally just going to throw me out in the trash tomorrow, metaphorically. But the way I handled it was I try to be around the people that I knew had my back as much as I can, or the several people I knew that did have my back.
Yeah. So how is your support system now?
Better, a lot better. I got friends now. I got actual meaning people who I know would carry me out on a stretcher if there was a fire in the building.
That's good. So, do you have any physical limitations?
Well, oddly enough, I don't, but I know several people that do.
Yeah. Well, my dad is actually in the comments and he is saying John Mellencamp is from Bloomington.
Yep, that is correct.
My
And
dad knows a bunch of
I'm talking,
useless stuff.
staying silent on my views on him.
All right. Well, that's okay. I I can't say because I have no idea. So, let's think. Do you have any suggestions for somebody else that is going through something at the moment?
Well, I think the best thing you can do, I know you've heard this before, and it's maybe cliche, but don't give up. There is light at the end of the day. You just gotta hold on, man. That's all you can do. I mean, hold on because there's gonna be someone out there enough to help and use resources. There's there's a suicide hotline for a reason.
Yeah. And do you know that number?
Isn't it like 1-800 or something like that? 1-800 hotline.
I think it's actually 988.
Whale poop. I don't remember.
Well, now I'm gonna have to look it up because I want to say that suicide hotline. I think it's 988 on a cell phone. Oh darn it! I put it suicide hotel.
That's a little different, I think.
Yeah.
Got me interested. I'm gonna look it up too. So
All right, yeah, 988. If you need emotional support, reach out to them. You can call them on I guess a cell phone or a landline. I don't know about the landline. I do know it works on a cell phone. Ooh, we also have Ben Bruce in the comments. Ben Bruce is from Lagos, Nigeria, but he was just traveling in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and now he is in Seychelles, which is a little island out in the Indian Ocean. And he also says, hello, Samuel. It's a pleasure having you on here tonight.
well,
So,
I appreciate you letting me come on today.
yeah, we appreciate you. So after not giving up, after finding the support you need, is there any other way that you can tell someone to help someone get through what they are going through?
There's a lot that I can say, but the best idea you can do to really hone in on your adversity is share it too. I mean, I'm on here today talking about autism and why it can be a pain in the butt some days, but also the beauty of it. You went through a car accident that changed your life. You're on here every week sharing about that and highlighting other people's stories.
Yes.
I'm doing my part, right? I mean, that's
Thank
all I
you.
can do too.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you gotta let us know, what are the beautiful parts of autism?
Very creative. I can be a very creative, out of the box thinker. It may take me a while to get there, but I'll get there in my own unique way. I'm going on a different path. Maybe I march the beat to my own drum, but I still get to the finish line.
That's awesome. So what have you ever tried anything like meditation? Now, I know that it would be extremely difficult with your ADHD, but if you got to the point where you mastered meditation, I think that would be something that would be extremely beneficial to you.
Huh. Good luck with that. I tried it, and my brain gets overstimulated easily. And I'm not trying to use an excuse like I've literally tried before. And within 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm done. What's next?
Yeah, I understand that because it doesn't really work for me either, but I am slowly getting better at it.
Yeah.
And
I think we all
that's,
have our own personal flaws, and we got to do our best to overcome it to be better human beings. I think that's what good human beings do. They look at themselves, they see what individual flaws they have, and they try to do their best to Not try to cure the problem, but manage it.
Yeah. So if anybody out there has any questions, please let us know. We'll answer them for you. But I wanted to let you in on his website. So it's autismrocksandrolls.com. And don't forget, it's not Autism Rocks because that is a website, but autismrocksandrolls.com.
Yes.
Check out the
Odds,
work.
you're going to hit something in Ohio, apparently. And as much as I love Ohio, I'm not going to live in there.
Why not?
I was kidding when I said that. Well, Ohio's a great state. I think it just depends on where. Because
Yeah.
I think we can all agree there's probably some dangerous sides of Ohio.
Yeah. There's some dangerous sides to every
And
state.
but to everywhere too, there is some dangerous sides everywhere, even in Indiana.
Yeah. I know there's some dangerous sides to Indianapolis.
Oh, there is. There is.
And Gary, Indiana, used to be the murder capital of the United States. I don't know if it still is.
I don't think it is. I've heard Gary's needs to do a little work in Fort Wayne. I've heard that's bad too.
Well, I know every place has its ups and downs, and cities can be big areas. I mean, you can't expect one city just everybody to get along. It doesn't work like that. People don't get along even in my little town of Pickwa, Ohio, and it's like 20,000 people. So I can relate. But so I'm curious, what's next for Samuel?
Well, I mean, I definitely want to grow this nonprofit into something bigger than myself, which I kind of already have. It used to be me moving along people, but I think others are moving me along and making me a better person. And I feel like I just led people to the promised land because I'm now sitting in the back seat. It was me in the front seat for a long time, but now it's me in the back seat, man.
Yeah. So what does your day-to-day like or look like? Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I get up in the morning. I may or may not get breakfast, depending on if I'm hungry that morning. And, head up to the Experience VU, which is a tutoring program / a safe haven for me. Go to classes, hang out with some buddies, and come here. And then if I have any interviews or any non-profit work / podcast work that I need to do, I will do it.
That sounds pretty cool. So what is your college life like? I mean, how does it go? Is it extremely difficult like school was?
It can be, but I feel like what I like with my schooling in particular, there's not much homework. It's broadcasting. It's more project based. Like you can work on a little today, work on a little tomorrow, hit it hard today, turn it in tomorrow.
That's cool. So that probably helps with your, well, how does that work with your have to get it done now?
Well, I think it might be more of a personal thing, but it's a pro and con with that. The pro is okay, you can get it done, but then because of the ADHD, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. Then I'm trying to find something else to do. But the con is, you know, well, that's the con really. But the pro is not having to stress about a quick deadline, as I call it. When I say a quick deadline, it's like you get a homework assignment and it's due tonight. Whereas this broadcast assignment, okay, it's due Friday. I got time.
Yeah. But does your mind allow you to have time?
It tries to, but sometimes no. What I've done with that is I'll focus on something maybe kind of that's personal to me. So music, I've always loved rock and roll music. So what I've done is when I'm not doing something, I've literally walked around in that hall back and forth, honing in on whatever song is playing.
Yeah. And you like rock and roll. Who's your favorite artist?
Well, it's a tie, my friend. It's between AC/DC and Nickelback. I have a list of 130, not 139, gee whiz, I think it's more than that actually. 39 pages of songs, and there's a lot of songs on there. It's not just rock and roll. Despite that being the favorite, I like a lot of bands like the ones I just listed. I also like Elvis Presley, Papa Roach, Motley Crue. I'm trying to think of who else.
Cool.
Saint Asania, Trivium, some new ones, for example.
So, what other types of music do you like besides rock and roll?
Well, there's a list. So rock and roll's number 1, rap's number 2, country's number 3. Well, I'm maybe it's because I have a little bit of hood in me. I'm not for sure, but it's like that's a tie. If it's this new country, no. My friend and I have this agreement where we think this new country is pop music, and instead of calling it country, it needs to be pop. The old country, great, love it, but this new one, not as much. But there's probably some new artists out there that I like Luke Bryan. Okay, he's definitely a new artist, but I like him because I've grown up with it.
Yeah.
And then pop, it's at the bottom of the list, but there is some pop songs on there. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's pretty cool, though. But so we were almost out of time here. But so my motto is make every second count. Now, I know you haven't really been around much, but do you have, can I ask what your first thoughts on make every second count, what that means?
Okay, I can try. If I can clear my throat in a second. There we go. Make every second count means making every moment of your life meaningful. Every minute of your life, this is the truth, and it's kind of a sad truth, but it's real. Every minute of your life, you're on the clock.
Yeah.
You are really on the clock. And you don't know when your time is going to come. For you, it could come tomorrow. For me, it could come tomorrow. Now, knowing how we are, it's not likely, but there's a possibility. I mean, there was a possibility with you in your car crash.
Yeah.
But what can you do about it? You can live your life to the best of your capabilities. So when it is your time and whoever decides, you can have memories to reflect upon if your brain is still in your system. Or you can leave memories for others who deserve to have great memories of you.
That is the perfect answer. I have to say, well done, my friend. Well done. But so I need you to do me a favor this week, Samuel, and everybody out there watching in the internet world. I need you to make every second count this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. Why, you ask? Because you never know when the seconds will run out on your one life. Guys, I'll see you back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, you have a fantastic week. Thank you again, Samuel. You have a great week as well. I'll see you later.